I have to sit here and be fair. I have to sit here and be a tiny bit sympathetic to LeBron James because LeBron James was the great athlete and the great player. But ESPN, particularly at this time, was the clear-cut worldwide leader in sports. And they did something really unfair to LeBron James. They allowed an old man, desperate for money, to build a career attacking LeBron James relentlessly. And that changed LeBron James. You can say I'm being too sympathetic. But I'm telling you, no one really had a problem with LeBron James his first 5, 6, 7 years in the NBA. It wasn't until he was like, hey, I'm getting beat up. Everyone's calling me a choke artist. I'm blah, blah, blah. I hate Dan Gilbert now because, I got to get out of here and I got to take my talents to South Beach. And we were like, oh, LeBron's cutting corners. Would he have cut a corner if he had been left alone? If he had been treated somewhat fairly? If he had been treated the way Michael Jordan had been treated in the public arena? If LeBron James's obstacles had all been left on the court, would he have handled things the way that Michael Jordan handled them? Would it be like, oh, on the court, I can solve these problems. It's what's being done to my reputation on the worldwide leader in sports that I cannot fix unless I enter that arena with my money and start using my power, access, and influence to manipulate what's going on in the media. And that's why I am the media. I'm more than an athlete. Let's launch Uninterrupted. Let's launch Spring Hill Media. He had to take things into his own hands and under his own control because of the Lahader. Because some desperate man decided, I'm going to cut corners and build a TV career off LeBron James's back. That's what happened. And so when Kendrick Perkins says, put an address on it, he's most likely, or I've just helped him understand, that's the address. It's Skip Bayless. When Ryan Clark says or insinuates, hey, what LeBron James has faced is unprecedented, he's right. His instincts are right. No one has faced what LeBron faced as it related to Skip Bayless. How would you react? How would anybody react? You get defensive. This is a kid. So I went through, and many people in the media have gone through what LeBron has gone in terms of being canceled, being smeared. And I'm sitting there like, well, hold on, man. In this public arena, I got good writing skills. I got good talks. I can defend myself. Even though I feel like I'm being unfairly attacked, even though the legacy media has all but also I'm an adult. When the attacks and everything, when they really started coming for me in 2012, let's say, yeah, they were coming at me before then, but when they really amped it up in 2012, that's 13 years ago. I'm a full-grown 44-year-old man at that time, 43, 44 years old. I'm twice LeBron James's age at 21. And so I know how to deal with that, and my skin is much thicker. And you start realizing your purpose, and you start realizing like, oh boy, when you stick to any kind of truth, this system will come at you. But when a 21-year-old and his group of young friends that he's decided to empower around him, Maverick and Rich Paul and I don't know why I can't think of the other guy's name, but they circle the wagons and they say, well, man, LeBron, with all this money you're making, you need to take control of the media. You need to mount your own defense. You need to enter into that arena. And so, yeah, you do the shop. You start Spring Hill Media. You start Uninterrupted. You start putting media people on payroll. You launch an agency, Clutch, and you start representing people in the media. And you start putting your plants in the media. You start rewarding Nick Wright and these other groupies for arguing your side. This is a natural reaction. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And there is a side to LeBron James' story. And it needs to be told and it needs to be understood. I'm not trying to denigrate the athletes. I'm giving them credit. Your instincts are right. It's unfortunate that, or not unfortunate, you've done your job. You've put out enough little clues that someone older than you, more experienced in the media, can connect the dots that you pointed out. Kendrick Perkins, Ryan Clark, who am I forgetting? LeBron James, whoever else, hats off to you guys. You planted some clues. I'm going to follow up on them. There is a side to LeBron's story. And so when he's on with Scott Van Pelt, I believe Saturday or Sunday, LeBron had some more things to say. Now, I do think this is inaccurate, what he says here, but I get it. Because I think if left alone without Skip Bayless, LeBron's kind of a fun-loving, likable. He wants to be liked. I think that's his natural instinct. I think Skip Bayless turned him into an a-hole. And I think Skip Bayless made LeBron. You sit here and wonder why LeBron struggles with racial idolatry, struggles with what they call racism, why he seems to be so anti-white. If you were 21 and the worldwide leader in sports, the most powerful sports media company, let Jamie Horowitz, a white Jew, and Skip Bayless, a white American, if they let them launch multi-million-dollar television careers off your back, you might reach the conclusion like, hey, man, this is unfair, and America's unfair. Now, I'm not saying LeBron has not reached the right conclusions, but I understand how he got there. And we all need to deal with that and accept that and offer LeBron a tiny bit of sympathy, and we need to correct this. People have a lot of animus towards Skip Bayless. And what Shannon Sharpe ended up doing to Skip Bayless, it struck me initially as unfair. Like, hey, Shannon's out of work, and Skip Bayless gives him a way back into the media business, and it turns into what it has turned into. But Skip Bayless, having his reputation eventually completely destroyed by Shannon Sharpe, it's actually well-deserved. Because how Skip Bayless got here in the $50, $60, $70, $80 million he made from pimping LeBron James, Skip Bayless deserves a crash landing, and he got it. And now here at the end, Skip Bayless is running around trying to defend LeBron James and trying to pivot and trying to distance himself from what he actually did. But he actually got exactly what he deserves. He, Horowitz, and ESPN diminished and damaged one of the greatest athletes of our lifetime. A man that, if in his right mind, if not damaged by Skip Bayless, may have gone on to be greater than Michael Jordan. But I think what Skip did to LeBron made him say, hey, man, I got to cut corners. Let me team up with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Let me build super teams. Let me team hop, jump here to jump there. I think it's all a reaction to what Skip Bayless did.
Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.